If you take a look at the US stock market, you would be under the assumption that the economy is doing real well and that the war against Iran hasn't had any economic repercussions. However, economists and energy experts are warning that we are sleepwalking to a recession. Now, if you watch this show or any show that's actually telling you the truth of what's going on right now, you would already know that we're not sleepwalking. We know exactly what's going on here. But before I give you the latest details, Cenk, your 2 cents.
Yeah, so I don't think it's going to be a hard prediction for me to tell you guys an economic catastrophe is next. So we are headed for that. And it's brought to you by Israel. So enjoy, here's the facts.
Okay, so Dr. Amrita Sen, who is the founder and director of market intelligence at Energy Aspects, has some pretty big concerns. And so she talked about that with CNBC. Namely, Sen said there is an extremely misplaced euphoria among some investors. And look, if you've got a 401k or a brokerage account, you might have noticed account's doing pretty well. Everything's doing really well, everything's great. I mean, you're not experiencing the same thing at the gas pump. However, the stock market's fine. However, she states this. This is a massive, massive energy crisis. I have been equally amazed at how the equity market is completely dismissing it, talking about how great the first quarter results are. They are not going to be great nearly to the same extent in the second quarter. She continues to say that this has been the biggest conundrum for us. If anything, we think oil should be higher and the equity market should be a lot weaker. I think we're sleepwalking into potentially a pretty big recession. Other economic experts believe that if Trump decides to continue this war with Iran at the behest of the Israelis, then we are sleepwalking into a depression, not just a recession. And by the way, it's not just about oil and gas either. Sen continues to tell CNBC, just wait for food prices to start going up because of what's going on. The lack of urea transport, she's talking about fertilizer here, and natural gas prices or natural gas being curtailed in the fertilizer sector. Now, after the ceasefire was shattered this morning, the price of oil unfortunately did rise, while the Dow Jones, S&P 500, and NASDAQ all dropped as well. Meanwhile, American oil companies are doing just great because they're able to charge a premium for the gas that they are able to produce. And that's not great for us. Doesn't mean that we're, as Americans, doing great, but the American oil companies are doing great. Let's go to Patrick DeHaan. This is a post on X. US oil and product exports have surged nearly 30% since the start of the attacks on Iran. Increasingly, the world is buying American crude and products, which is driving prices higher here. A record 100 million barrels have left US shores in the last 7 days. And Patrick, thank you for that post because it perfectly provides evidence for something that we've been arguing on this show again and again for many years now. When you hear American politicians argue that we need to drill more, we need to frack more, we need energy independence, that never benefits ordinary Americans. It never benefits the consumer. It only benefits the oil companies. They're the ones who stand to profit. They don't share those profits. Why would they share those profits? So we pay more while they get to make more money in profits.
Yeah, so on that real quick, one of the billion reasons why I loathe mainstream media. So they never correct that. They repeat it on air 1,000 times about, energy independent, number one, a provider of energy in the world. Yeah, but we don't keep it. Energy independence is a lie. It's a total fiction. It would mean that we would keep the oil here in America and hence be independent of the oil markets globally. That is not a thing that exists. And it is not our oil, it's ExxonMobil's oil once they take it out of the ground. We actually charge some of the lowest rates in the world for oil extraction out of our soil. Okay, other countries are not suckers like us because they haven't legalized bribery. So our media lies to you en masse as if that's our oil. It is not, and it will not help you with oil prices at all. okay? Because they're selling internationally. They're like, oh, China's paying more than America? We're gonna sell to China.
Right. That is exactly right.
Oh, Russia's paying more, whoever's paying more, we're gonna sell to them, not you guys. Oh, now your prices are higher, ha ha. Okay, but the media never clarifies that because they work for the bad guys. Now, on this particular person, the expert, saying, are you guys crazy? We're about to have this huge crash. Look, we told you. And she's even underselling it. Look, you should never take advice from anyone on air, especially if they're posing as a financial analyst. I'll just put it this way. I'm thinking of withdrawing whatever money I control, which is not very much. Maybe I'll tell my parents, etc. right? To get out of the markets, because this thing's gonna crater any second now. Wall Street is drunk, and I've seen them be drunk before in 2000, in 2008, and they think that the market can't go down. I don't know why they believe ludicrous, insane things like that. And you could tell when they start, and this isn't the normal drunk or crack from back in the day, this is fentanyl, right? They're like, no, even though oil is sky high, we're back into the middle of the war, and we have a giant economic recession looming for the whole world, I'm buying. AI's doing great. The AI companies and the technology companies, I'm buying. They look like crack addicts and fentanyl addicts wandering around aimlessly around Wall Street. So, okay, keep going. Oh, Cenk, you know better than all of Wall Street? Yes, I do. Quote me on it. Because there's going to be a massive economic crash. Israel has made the decision, we're going back into the war. When we go back into the war, oil prices are going to go through the roof. All the food prices are gonna go through the roof. The fertilizers, the aluminum, the helium, they affect every single thing. In fact, they even affect the AI companies. So soon you'll see the tech bros crying on TV, where's my helium? I need it for the AI. Picture this, it's midnight, you're lying in bed, scrolling through Shop TYT, of course. Excited to buy that new Dragon Squad snapback you've had your eye on, but your wallet's on the other side of the room. Then you see the purple Shop Pay button, which has your payment and shipping information saved and ready to go. That seamless checkout experience is thanks to Shopify. They're making it so easy to buy your next piece of TYT merch. Shopify powers 10% of all e-commerce in the US, including ours. Shopify gives you that leg up on the competition with hundreds of beautiful ready-to-go templates to express your brand's unique style. Tackle all those essential tasks in one place, from inventory to payments to analytics, and expand your brand reach with built-in marketing and email tools. Super helpful. And I already mentioned that awesome purple Shop Pay button. It's why Shopify has the best converting checkout on the planet. See fewer carts go abandoned and more sales go with their Shopify and their Shop Pay button. Sign up for your $1 per month trial today at shopify.com/TYT. Go to shopify.com/TYT. That's shopify.com/TYT. I can't wait for the tech bros and the Israelis to fight. That'll be a real fight.
The problem with the helium shortage, though, is that the helium is necessary to run MRI machines, and pretty soon people are gonna get a notice from their hospital letting them know, hey, your MRI appointment, we need to cancel it.
But so what if you die? You're not an Israeli. Who cares? We're sending your sons to go fight for the Israelis anyway. So if you don't get an MRI and they don't catch it and you die, you're just a lowly American. Besides which, give me your wallet. Israel needs another war. Every time you ring the bell below, an angel gets his wings. Totally not true, but it does keep you updated on our live shows.